What's going on YouTube? Let's talk about heated gloves today. Let's go. So as you all know, we are heading out of fall and going into winter. It's gonna get cold. There's no ifs and buts about it. I know that the temperatures are gonna start dropping to 50 and below. So I need to get ready for the winter riding season. And one of the most critical items that I've found are heated gloves. So I'm gonna talk to you guys about Kemimoto heated gloves. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, they've been great friends of the channel. They've allowed me to try out a lot of different stuff. But last winter, I remember hitting them up and asking them if I could try out some of their heated gloves because I'm a big fan of heated gloves. I've gone through a lot of them, and I'm going to talk to you guys about my experience with heated gloves in the past. But unfortunately, last year, they were all out. And, they said, hey, stay tuned for next winter. We'll work with you then. And lo and behold, they sent me these awesome pair of motorcycle battery-powered heated gloves. So in this video, we're going to break down some of the features of these gloves. And then I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the differences between these gloves and some of the other ones that I've tried out. And I've tried out a bunch of battery-powered heated gloves. That was my jam for a few years. I even have wired heated gloves, so I'll talk to you about them and why I think this might be my new go-to winter glove. So let's get started. First things first, these gloves by themselves are pretty legit. Even without the battery-powered heating element, I would say these are pretty warm. And right now it doesn't look like it might be too cold, but it is about 50 degrees and dropping. We're about to head into the evening soon. So it is pretty chilly, but these gloves, without any heating source right now as is, just by themselves, they are pretty warm. They're keeping my hands really nice and toasty. So I like that. I think Kemimoto did a really good job intentionally designing motorcycle gloves that also have the heating element and are also designed with, the colder temperatures in mind. So for example, I bought heated gloves before from Amazon. Don't waste your money there, but some of the gloves that I've tried out from Amazon, like the cheap ones, like $30, $40 ones, they don't come with any protection whatsoever, but the Kemimoto ones, if you see this carbon fiber knuckle here, it's pretty solid. It has these little protection things. I don't know what you would call them, but skid protection, right? They have this thing right here, which will protect the meat of your palm. This thing right here, which will protect the bottom of your thumb. It has this little grippy palm, so you can kind of grab all the controls that you need on your motorcycle. So I like that. I like this little squeegee thing that they have, so in case your, visor gets kind of foggy or wet, you can just use that. It also has touchscreen capability, so these fingertips, I've tested it out on my phone. It works to some degree, but with these being winter gloves, it's bulky. You don't get that dexterity, so be forewarned. You also have these straps here for a more customized fit. Loosen them up, tighten them up, and just overall, the quality of the interior of these gloves are great. The lining feels really nice and soft. It feels very premium. These gloves actually feel very, very premium. Let's talk about the heating element and the battery-powered aspect of these winter gloves, right? So inside this pocket, you will see a 2500 milliamp battery. So this is actually a pretty thick battery. Thick, that's what she said. 2500 milliamps is actually pretty good for a battery-powered glove. I've seen some that are in the 1500 to 2000 range, but this gives you 2500 milliamps, which I think that means your gloves will stay warmer longer. So I'll drop down in the description of the video the link and some of the details so you can check them all out. But if you're familiar with battery powered gloves, they're all pretty similar in terms of how they operate. You hold down the button for a little while, it'll light up. You can change the settings. Usually white is the weakest setting, and then you progressively get hotter, but I think red here is supposed to be the hottest setting. Yeah, so red is the highest setting. Then the next one, purple or bluish, green, yellow. So 4 different settings, 4 different temperatures. So you can kind of moderate how warm you need the gloves to be. For me, typically, if I'm really riding in the dead of winter, I'll just keep it on red. And usually these batteries will last about 2 to 3 hours. So I've been testing this out, and I've been riding for 2 to 3 hours or so, and the battery is still pretty steady. So take that for what it's worth. I think these gloves do a fantastic job. I think I found my winter gloves for the foreseeable future. I just love all the features. Has a premium feel. I think these are designed with motorcyclists in mind. And it just looks great. So let's hop on the bike and talk about the heating element, because I think there are some drawbacks that you should know about battery powered gloves, because battery powered gloves will never be the same as wire gloves. Trying to get these on. Whew. Also, just a note about sizing. I think you should probably size up if you're going to get these, because I'm a medium and these are kind of hard to get into. But once they're on, they feel really good, and I love the dexterity that I can get with a lot of the winter gloves that I've tried out. Like, once you get your hand in, like, you can't move anything, but on your motorcycle, you need that dexterity. So I really like that this is soft leather. I feel like I have control of all of my fingers. Whoop. Gotta turn on my battery powered gloves here, because it's getting cold. So immediately I can feel the warmth. And like, I kid you not, in about a second, I feel all the warmth from the fingers all the way down to where the knuckles are. I can feel that. It's great. It feels really nice. And I think actually this knuckle protector helps block off some of the wind. What I've noticed is that the drawback for the battery powered gloves, or any heated kind of gloves really, no matter how effective they are, once you start getting some of the wind on the gloves itself, you don't feel a lot of that warmth. But because there's this knuckle compound right here, I think that helps block off a lot of the wind. And guys, I'm a huge fan of battery powered, like, heated gloves. I have a battery powered heated vest. I have a battery powered heated jacket. The reason why I like battery powered clothing is because I don't want any wires going through and, you know, being attached to the motorcycle or anything like that. I just want to be free, right? And I kind of want it to be simple. Are you gonna go? So yeah, I don't like having wires attached to me. For some reason, my mind just can't get over that. So I like having battery powered clothing, whether they're gloves or vests. So right now, I know it doesn't look like it, but it's about like 50 degrees or so. It's pretty chilly. And I have this right now on the red setting, as you can see, and my hands are toasty. Of course, I'm not really going that fast. I would say once you get up to about 35, 40, you could start losing some of the effectiveness of the heated gloves until you slow down or come to a stop. That's been my general experience with almost every battery powered heated glove out there. Now on my Lowrider S, I do have those hand guards, and they help a little bit, but aside from all of that, these gloves are excellent. I can really feel the heat on my knuckles, on the palm, or on this side of my hands. I can really feel all that. It's pretty wild. I found my winter gloves for the year. These are about $150 on Amazon. I'll drop the link in the description of this video. Trust me when I say I've gone through, I think, about 4 different pairs of heated gloves, and I am not saying this just because Kemimoto sent me a free pair. For everything that I mentioned about these gloves being intentionally designed with motorcyclists in mind, about the heating element being an excellent heated source, it works really well. I like the knuckle compound, that it actually blocks some of the wind. I think these are well worth their money. Well worth the money. You get the 2500 milliamp battery, which is a decent size, so it'll last a while. I would have to say Kemimoto did a really, really good job on these gloves here. This is by far my favorite item that you guys have sent me. Check out these Kemimoto gloves. The link is in the description of the video. That's gonna do it for me today. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, I'll see you all later. Peace.